I didn't get a chance to talk in this talk, but Singularity is a company called, what's the company called? I think it's called Biocompiler. So they wrote a program that allows you to write program for your genes. So let's say I want to make my cat glow in the dark. How would I do it? I used to do this in my other talk. You can watch it on the cat talk, I think I mentioned that. So the way you do it is essentially you take the DNA from your cat, you send it to a company, I think DNA 2.0, pay about $2,000 within 5 days, they send you back the data. Then download the software, which is free. And then how do you make it glow in the dark? You get a glow in the dark gene of a jellyfish, which is open source, you can download for free. Put it into a program it, make sure it's all worked right, send it back to them, you will manufacture the DNA, you inject it into your cat, hopefully your cat will glow in the dark. So those are the kind of jobs, but it all comes back to programming. Instead of 0 and 1 as traditional computing, it's DNA, it's base 4, ATCG, so it's basically programming the genes. And it's amazing, and there's a guy by the name of Craig Venter, if you don't know who he is, check him out. Craig Venter, in 2010, he programmed the first living thing in the world. He created an artificial life, a bacteria. If you go and sequence the gene of this, the DNA of this bacteria, you will find the 42 names of the scientists that work on the project, his own email address, his own website address. He created it in a computer, generated the DNA, injected it into a cell of bacteria and started multiplying. And it's a living thing. You'll say, like, well, what's the big deal? The big deal is if you can program genes, right? You can program a virus or bacteria that will kill your cancer cells before they become harmful to you. You could program your algae to convert sunlight into methane or some kind of biofuel. There's a lot of things you could do. Obviously, the guys who are negative say, well, you can also program to kill people, which is true. So if I could create a virus, this was a big argument going on in America right now. This was now that Trump is in power, when Obama was in power, they were arguing whether they should open source Obama's DNA. Because right now, Obama's DNA, right, is kind of a secret, so the Secret Service destroyed his glass and so on, because a biohacker could write a program that program a virus. All of us will catch a cold, but if Obama catches it, he will die. And the whole idea is that they have a few scientists that will hopefully find an antivirus in time to cure him. You see, like, remember those days when we were all worried about computer virus? Today, we're not concerned about it at all, right? Not really. Why? Because we understand it. And a virus comes out within 30 minutes, somebody comes up with an antivirus, right? So there's an argument that they should open source the Pope and Obama's DNA so that good hackers can basically write an antivirus and save some lives. So that's the argument right now. I guess in Trump, maybe
And one of the areas I've been doing a lot of research and writing, and I've published a number of articles just recently, I saw the concept of digital dark age, where and degrading, and also technology, obsolescence, because with the sensors now, with the Internet of Everything, it's like, well, what's all the data from those sensors going to be when that piece of sensors obsolete and then continue into this evolution. And one of those areas is also about digital DNA storage for data, so you become digital archaeologists in the future.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is that if you subscribe to the idea of the singularity, where we actually merge with the machine and we're all kind of connected anyway, then basically anything that you have stored in your mind, I'll be able to access it anyway. And talk about mind reading. I don't know whether you guys heard of the research that's done at the University of California in Berkeley. They can actually read your mind now, technically anyway. What they do is they flash a lot of pictures at you, and they use an MRI reading of which part of the brain fires. So at night when you sleep, and you're dreaming of the particular item, it flashes again. They can play it back, and they know what you're actually dreaming by looking at your brain fire pattern. So the Japanese, I think, are developing a commercial version that you can next time record your dreams and play it back. So you don't need to watch Netflix anymore. Yeah.
Clarence, when you talk about the hidden costs of homelessness, why is it that society doesn't understand that it's $100,000 a year every time somebody reoffends, that domestic violence is the number one cause of homelessness, etc.?
Well, I think that example is mainly American, right? But as you know, there was a judge that was arrested because he was basically sentencing juveniles into prison because they've been paid by the prison has been privatized. So it was in the interest of the prison corporations to keep filling them up. So when you have kind of a disjointed incentive scheme for capitalism, it goes wrong. Right?
So why is it that society doesn't understand that it does more?
Well, how many of you come to this talks? Most of you don't really bother reading all this information, and like I said, most of the news you hear is bad news. We're not exposed to it. We don't, basically we kind of, does the news talk about it? Not really, right? If they do, then it's a conspiracy theory, right? I think that's part of the problem, which is why, I do my talks and so on, and I think what Singularity is trying to do is trying to tell you that there's a better solution. We don't have the answers, but we're trying to get the best people in the world to come together and find out answers to it.
I suppose I wonder why the society as a whole doesn't understand that it's better to work on these challenges than to continue.
I guess maybe those who benefit from the current situation, they don't like to see that, right?
Absolutely.
So maybe they're the ones pulling the strings right now. So take a red pill.
Yeah.
Right.
Clarence, given the fact that everything's changing so rapidly, what about education and university? Are the courses and the structures of the way we learn appropriate, or is the Singularity come up with different?
I'm glad you asked that because I believe on March 15th, March 16th? The ITForum is, not ITForum, the ACS is having a discussion on exactly that. Whether the university is teaching relevant stuff and so on. But I guess, the problem is most of the academics have invested a lot of their lifetime in a particular research area and being an expert in that area. And that's the problem, right? Because there's something new disrupt them. They don't really like that. And I think that the current system that we have, the tenure system, is great for the professors, but is it really still the right answer for the current programs that we have? I mean, for example, you can go to udacity.com and basically take a 9 months program. Anybody can sign up. You pay $200 a month for, and at the end of the 9 months or 12 months, they give up 12 months to finish it. If you finish the program, you refund half your money back. And this program is designed by Google, Facebook, AT&T, all the big corporations, which are tired of hiring graduates that are not ready for the workforce. And they shooted the deal, I think, early last year. If after you finish the program and you still cannot find a job within 6 months, they refund back all your money. If you want to work for Google, that's your best shot at it because they bring in the top students in the program. How are the universities going to compete with that? There's one program they're running. Another program, and it's developed by Sebastian Trun, professor from Stanford University that did the Google card. And essentially, his mission in life is to make education accessible to everybody. So that's what he's trying to do with Destiny. And he signed up a deal with Georgia Tech, Georgia Institute of Technology, one of the top 10 computer science schools in the world. For $7,500 I think, you can do a master's of computer science from Georgia Tech without stepping foot on the university. Now, would I rather hire a master of computer science graduate from Georgia Tech, even though they had never really been physically in Georgia Tech, or a local university graduate? I'd probably hire the Georgia Tech guy. So how do you justify paying tuition fees on tax of that amount? And it becomes totally irrelevant. I mean, you should talk to my good friend Professor Bill Cayley, who's the chair of the advisory board that sit with him on Southern Cross University, and he has a lot more to say for it. You want to say something about it?
Oh, I think it's very, very true. Whether the Australian Vice Chancellor's Committee realises the revolution, tertiary education is being Uberised. In other words, what's starting to happen is quite specific. What we're starting to see is that, in actual fact, or Airbnb, as you put it quite well, not just with Udacity, but with Coursera and ADX. What's starting to happen is very simple. The employer is saying, who was your tutor? Who do you actually do your course with? Oh, you were with Udacity and you did entrepreneurship with Clarence Tan. That's great, we want you. You got the idea? So in some ways, to me, this is going back 500 years to what universities originally were. Collections, groups, colleagues. Now that's fascinating. That's exactly what
Not a
Your
crash.
revolution is happening right now, right in front of us. And it's a real problem, whether or not the Australian public service system, called universities, is even ready for this. It's a political question.
Right. Hope that answers that.
Perhaps one more question?
Nothing else?
No?
Yeah, just talking about Trump. Trump's already talking about not making the internet is open at the moment. He's already talking about closing it down. I don't know if that's going to be
Yeah, not closing it down, but
not closing it
yeah,
down.
yeah, yeah.
Privatising.
You're restricting it, right?
Yeah.
So basically, what will happen is that if you were with Telstra and Telstra is being paid by Foster's to advertise their beers, then when you go to Foster's site, it's faster. If you go to any other site, it's slower. And that's what the internet neutrality.
Net
That's,
neutrality,
yeah. So I don't think that's going to happen because I think you know, the internet is not now owned by one person. It's basically the entire world, right? And you know, and like I just showed you, right? Basically, these microsatellites and so on are going on. You don't need to actually access the internet through your providers anymore in the very near future. You know, some of these guys are doing it as a social enterprise project to allow African countries to access internet. So you could basically use your mobile phone as well to run a social network. So how are you going to control all that? So the biggest strength we have is numbers, right? I'll give you an example. I mean, it's no better time than now to be an entrepreneur. So Eric Ries, the guy that wrote the book, The Lean Startup, right? He's faculty at Singularity, and he was asked by Coca-Cola to advise them how they could be disrupted. Because they